Hello, hello, everybody. How are you doing? Welcome to the Belief Breakthrough Show. We took a couple of episodes off. Things came up. One of my guests caught COVID. And so we just had to cancel a couple of the last few episodes. So, anyways, um, welcome to the show. The Belief Breakthrough Show focuses on breaking through limiting beliefs so that you can move forward in your life and find joy and happiness in the present moment. My name is Tina Encarnacion. I am the host. I'm also the author of Stuck in the Fire, and as well as a holistic healer and life coach. So, with that being said, this month, the month of November, we've been focusing on gratitude, self care, self love, and really just going within and loving yourself because, especially as women, we forget how to love ourselves. We forget to take care of ourselves. We're so busy taking care of everybody else that we just lose sight of us. And in that, we lose sight of who we are. I can't tell you how many clients I have seen come in my doors that say, I don't know who I am anymore. I've spent so many years taking care of my children, taking care of my husband, taking care of my family, that I don't even recognize the woman staring back at the mirror, that back at me in the mirror. And you guys, I used to be there too. It is so easy to lose sight of the person that you are. But what I want you guys to realize is as you're going and serving others and giving so much of yourself, not keeping anything left for you, you're changing, you're growing, you're evolving. And although you no longer recognize that woman staring back in the mirror at you, she's still there, but she's different. You are never going to regain that person that you used to be because in life we grow and we grow in ways that we don't even see ourselves growing. And then all of a sudden, we don't recognize that person that we used to be because we're no longer her. We're a completely different person. And so tonight, as we're wrapping up the month of self care, self healing, I really want to focus on that. We've been talking about how to love yourself, how to care about yourself. We've been giving you tips and techniques all month long of how you can really go within and find yourself again. And I really don't like saying that, find yourself again, because you were never lost. You were just growing and evolving. And so, one thing that I want to focus on tonight is the difference between self care and self development, because there's a difference. I just spoke with a client this week and I said, what do you do to care for, what do you do for yourself, to care for yourself, to fill your cup up, to take care of yourself? And it's very common. Every single woman that I talk to, I meditate, I journal, I do yoga, I take baths, all of this busy work, right? Busy work to keep your mind busy so you don't really have to focus on who you are. And that is self-care. That's taking care of yourself. But we also have to develop ourselves. We have to intentionally improve the person that we are. And the unfortunate thing is, most of the time, that takes working with somebody else. It takes being able to have someone outside of us look at the shadows that we sit in and point them out to us so we know how to grow, so that we know how to develop ourselves, so that we know where our weak spots are, so we can create them into our strengths. And we can't see that within ourselves because, one, we're so busy being negative to ourselves. We're so busy speaking down to ourselves. We're so busy beating ourselves up. Two, you spend all day, every day with you. You listen to your own thoughts all day long. You overlook your hindrances. You overlook your bad habits. You don't hold yourself accountable. And so, can you truly see and overcome the deficiencies in your life that you need to work on? And three, we tend to deny our truths. We tend to live outside of alignment with ourselves. And if we can't be honest with ourselves, how are we going to grow and develop into a better person? How are we going to grow and develop into the person we're supposed to be? How are we going to become back into alignment with ourselves? And so, self love and self care is something that you can do with yourself and you need to do on yourself every day, but it's also busy work. It's not going within and finding those pain nuggets and sitting in that emotion, sitting in those suppressed memories, and actually uncovering them and dealing with them and searching for those lessons. That is what I consider self development. And I truly feel that you need somebody to help you along in that journey in order to help you digest those pain nuggets. If you could have digested that negative experience or that negative emotion when it happened, you would have. But it hurt too much. So you chose to stuff it and suppress it and allow it to take roots within your body. You chose to water it, to fertilize it, to help it to grow, to feed into the negative self-worth that us as women tend, not always, but tend to hang on to. And as we allow our suppressed emotions and memories to grow within us, it's really hard to go back into that pain and process it without the help of somebody else. It doesn't have to be a professional. I prefer to use a professional because they're honest. They're going to hold me accountable. I'm paying them to do that. And a lot of times they have a lot more insight than your common everyday friend who's your cheerleader and who's going to be cheering you on, but not necessarily giving you the raw information that you really need to process. So I prefer to work with a professional. But if you don't want to, at least have a friend, have someone that you can trust, that you can go to and open yourself up and allow them to give you constructive criticism so you can begin to process and work through that pain that you're holding within yourself so that you can become that person you're meant to be rather than wishing you were still the person that you remember that you used to be. So the difference between self-love, self-development. Self-love is busy work where you're filling your cup up. Self-development is going back into the pain points of your life, searching for the lessons and growing from the lessons that you are currently finding. So those are two things that I feel are extremely important for us to do. Now, another thing, another way for us to love ourselves and care for ourselves is not just to develop ourselves, but to develop our environment, to develop our finances, to always be reaching further than we currently are today. And so the entire month of December, the Belief Breakthrough Show is going to be focusing on finances because I find that a lot of women do not manage their finances very well. They allow others to take over their finances in their relationships. They don't know how to honor themselves with their finances, paying themselves first, investing in themselves. They don't feel worthy or deserving of being invested in financially. And so I really want to focus on breaking through those limiting beliefs in December and learning how to manage your money and learning how to invest in yourself financially, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically. We really need to learn how to take care of ourselves in our entirety, not just a piece of us, but all of us. And so this month we worked on self-love. We've talked about survivorship. We've discussed limiting beliefs around neglect or pain or shame. And so the next chapter for us is finances. And so next month we're going to be focusing all about finances and how to honor yourself with your finances, how to manage your finances, how to be responsible for your finances. And if you're swimming in debt, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, I'm going to be bringing on experts that are going to teach you how to unbury yourself out of the hole of financial restraint or financial debt. So that's coming next month. So a couple of ways to do self-development. Work with a professional. You want to either get a coach or a healer. You can go to talk therapy, a therapist, but the difference between therapist and a coach, we discussed this back in September, is a therapist is going to be talking to you about your past. You're going to be rehashing your past. Yes, you are going to be living and breathing and digesting those pain nuggets, but you're going to be kind of sitting in that pain and festering in that pain with a therapist. Whereas with a coach, they are touching on the pain nuggets, but they are teaching you how to move forward in that pain. So if you're driving a car and you're looking out your windshield, that is a coach. You are moving forward in your life. You are moving past your blocks. You are moving past your barriers. That coach is their job is to make you move forward in life, to no longer be stuck, to no longer be consumed by your past, but to empower you to overcome your past so that you can live fully in your present moment. If you're driving and you look in your rear view mirror and you look behind you, that's a therapist. So they're working on you healing your past and addressing what you've left behind, what you've neglected, and going back and healing that place back in your past. And a coach is moving you forward. So those are the two differences. So working with a coach to move forward in your life, to embrace the person that you have become, to pull yourself out of victim mentality, to deal with the emotions that you have stuffed or suppressed, to deal with the wounds or the scars of your soul. That person is going to be helping you to move forward, to hold you accountable, to force you to set goals and to achieve them. That is self-development. That is not sitting still where you're at, but that is moving forward, and that is having an accountability partner to get you to do that. Now, that can be a best friend too. That can be a sister. That can be anyone. This person doesn't necessarily have to be a professional. It doesn't have to be a financial cost, but understand that everything that you do in life is a transaction. Whether it's an energy exchange, whether it's a dollar for time, whether it's a barter system, everything is a transaction. So if you are going to be working on building yourself up and developing yourself, you really need to sit down and think about, what do you want that to look like before you move forward? Because you can't just sit there and go, I want to be a better person. I want to move forward in my life, and not know what steps you need to take to get there. So you need to figure out, what are my finances? What can I afford? How much can I invest in myself? If I can't invest in myself financially, can I trade? Can I barter? If I can't trade or barter, can I exchange energy? Can I have that friend that'll hold me accountable, that I will not be upset with when they call me out on my bullshit, that I can take constructive criticism from, that I can return the favor and hold them accountable and call them on their bullshit? How can I move forward in my life and no longer sit where I am at, neglecting myself, draining myself, giving all of me to everyone else and not holding anything back for myself, not asking for anything in return? That's another thing about self-development, ladies. We have to learn to ask for what we need. In this life, when you start to ask for things, there is a certain amount of guilt and shame involved in asking for help. Just saying, I need help. Something's wrong with me and I need to get forward in my life. That automatically starts to kind of feels vulnerable. It feels like people might judge you. It can be scary, but we need to start doing that, because we don't. We give and we give and we give, and we don't hold anything back or ask for anything in return. And so part of developing yourself is setting boundaries and learning how to ask for help. So setting boundaries is another part of self-development. It is not being mean to people for saying no. It is simply saying, I am a priority and I don't have time for this right now, so I'm going to say no. Or I am a priority and I'm not going to allow myself to be used or abused by these individuals any longer, so I'm going to start to say no. Or to realize, instead of saying I can't do something, say I choose to not do that, so that you're holding yourself accountable. So for instance, for me, when I started working with my first coach, I chose to say, I can't afford your services, when I was discussing with her what I wanted in my life. And she's like, great, I can help you with that. This is the cost. And I said, I really can't afford that. And she goes, it's not that you can't, you're choosing not to. You are choosing to spend your money on something that you feel is more important than yourself. And that didn't sit right with me. I was like, no, I do value myself. I do feel like I'm worth this. And she goes, then why are you choosing not to do this? And I really had to sit there and go, you're right, I'm not making myself a priority. And I had to change that. And that's when I started to invest in myself. And that's when I started to heal and I started to change. That's part of self development. So, setting boundaries is another form of self development. What are you going to accept from people? How are you going to allow people to treat you? What are you going to put up with? How far are you going to allow people to push you, to take advantage of you? When are you going to start saying no and stepping up for yourself and saying, I am a priority and I don't deserve this treatment. I deserve to move forward in my life, to remove my blocks, to remove my struggles, to deal with this so that I can finally be happy and present in the moment. Part of self development. So this month, we've covered a lot. This month, we've challenged you. This month, hopefully, we've broken through some of your guys' limiting beliefs about self help, about self development, about self care. Hopefully, this month has taught you that you are important, that you deserve to be number one in your life, that you deserve to be the number one most important priority in your life, that there should be nobody with a higher priority in your life besides God than yourself. You are the only person that can say, no, I'm more important. You are the only person that can say, I deserve better. You are the only person that can say, my happiness is more important than serving all of me and holding nothing back. You are in control of your life. You are the ruler of your life underneath God. And it is important for you to step up and say, I believe that I'm important enough to begin to say no, to begin to love myself, to begin to care for myself, to begin to develop myself, and to begin to run after my dreams and achieve everything my heart desires because I know I can, I am capable, I'm willing, and I deserve it. So, with that, we are wrapping up Self Love Month and Gratitude Month of November. And we will be opening up with financial awareness for the entire month of December. I will be advertising all of the amazing experts that will be coming on and teaching you guys how to manage your finances, how to build your wealth, how to take care of yourself for your family, and how to become financially free, all in the next month. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have an amazing night. Bye-bye.